Hey!
Yo!
Welcome to Amp Gaming's first installment of Community Spotlight.
Justin is a really close friend of mine, and I'm so excited that we get to share his story with you.
As a filmmaker, what I really love about this is his story doesn't just appeal to Magic players, but I think it's something you can show to your friends and your family and help them more understand your passion for the game and the community that surrounds it.
If you want to see more content like this from us, let us know.
Thank you so much and enjoy.
Hello, I'm Justin Kress, aka The Captain. That is my nickname around the Magic community. Started a few years back, actually, just playing with friends as like a Halloween, and I didn't really have a costume. I came from like a boat ride, and I came off the boat wearing this hat, and they're like, "Keep it." Kind of stuck after that. I started playing Magic in 1997. Tempest was my first set. First set I fell in love with. Tradewind Rider, Cursed Scroll. Back then, those cards were like good. They aren't as much nowadays with Commander. Tradewind Rider is still pretty good. But that is kind of when I got into it around middle school. I was 12 years old, so now I'm dating myself. And we played it on the bus. That's what was like the big thing. Our bus ride was like 2.5 hours to school. So it just became my game. Yeah, the first cool thing that drew me into Magic was the art. Like, hands down. And the art of Tempest was just mind-blowing to me. And then after that, you had Stronghold and the Urza block. And those cards also broke Magic, but the art was just so beautiful. Gaia's Cradle is my favorite card of all time. And that art, I just feel like a kid again every time I look at it. I loved it so much that it became my first job, too. My first job was actually selling and trading cards online. I was around like 16 years old doing that. And then, of course, college came around, and then college I had to sell them all, so I could afford just food in college. So I sold my whole collection for probably around like $2,000, so not much. Just kind of got what I could get for it. And then I was out of Magic for 10 years, 9 years, a long time. A few things happened in my life. Of course, I was pursuing comedy, acting, singing, all that kind of stuff. I'm a performer, and took me to New York, and I was just kind of living my life, and Magic was still always on the back burner, but I wasn't really focused on it whatsoever until I got into a car accident, and that changed my whole life, everything. I come out of work, driving my car, I stop at a red light, and this is at the bottom of a hill. And basically a car didn't stop behind me, just came going straight down a hill, speeding around like 50, 60 miles an hour, and just crushed into my car. My car seat broke, went forward and back, head bleed, and went unconscious. And in the hospital, I'm there, and they say I have a brain hemorrhage. A brain hemorrhage, there's a burst inside your head, and if they don't stop the bleeding, you die. Luckily enough, my blood clotted, and I didn't die. But it was mostly damage to my frontal lobe. It's kind of like shaken baby syndrome, where your brain whips so far forward and back, it damages the front and the back, and so it also messed up my vision. It was a really rough time because I lost my memory. I didn't really know who I was. Having a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, it's tough because you're kind of learning everything from scratch again. I had to relearn how to read, write, and so at first things weren't getting better. Like my first year of recovery after the accident, I was like going nowhere. My doctors had me on like every anxiety pill, every sleeping pill, because I couldn't sleep for a long time. It was until I changed psychologists, and they got me on a program. Basically, they're like, we want to get you better again. And the way to do that is to try to remember things from my past. So I had to try hard, but I used things like Facebook and other things that had pictures of me from middle school when I was a kid to try to remember things. And magic was one of those things that popped up, and one of the things that I used to love to do. They got me on plans to listen to music, go to comedy, play magic, play basketball. These are all things that I loved to do as a kid. And so when I started doing them, they started like, memories started coming back. And magic was the biggest catalyst of them all. Because once I started getting back into magic, my memories started to come back again. And my head was then filled up with just magic and magic cards. Since I had no memory at all, my memory just became magic cards. The artwork is just the most beautiful thing in the world to me. And those images are what drew me back to my past. Those images are what I could remember again. Like when I actually saw the image of a guy's cradle, it took me completely back to my childhood. And I'm like, I remember that card from my childhood. And my memory just like a light bulb just started like coming back. And that connection is, what saved me, is what, helped my, save me from becoming, a vegetable. I was literally like, I couldn't remember how to brush my teeth. I couldn't remember how to wash myself. And a magic card saved my memory. Like, that's how crazy it got me back into being a human being again. Hiking was huge. Hiking really kind of took me on that adventure again, though, too. Made me feel like a kid again. You think of, like I said, Guy's Cradle, and I wanted to find, like, that area, right? And I was, like, on the hunt with, like, my hikes to find some place that looked like that area. And in Colorado, I felt like I found a few places. Like by the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, there's an area that looks like Guy's Cradle, the art. And that was like breathtaking. I felt like I was in the game, So it's been about 8.5, 9 years that I've been back into Magic. I got back in around Khans of Tarkir, Dragons of Tarkir. Of course, dragons were a big thing for me as a kid, from like Lord of the Rings, like those kind of like fantasies. The Hobbit, right? I was obsessed with watching that, the cartoon film as a kid, and being, you think that you're Bilbo Baggins on the hunt for treasure, and magic is like those treasure pieces that you're like hunting for all the time. And so I felt like when I got back into magic, I was on the hunt for all these treasure pieces that I lost as a kid. Just like Guy's Cradle, Time Warp was one of my all-time favorite cards as a kid. And that was one of the ones I was on the hunt for, the biggest. And that was like a time warp back to my past, and to, remembering everything. That literally was one of the best cards ever. Like, what? Who takes an extra turn? Like, oh my god. Yeah. I remember playing Time Warps and Treadwind Rider, like that kind of style deck as a kid on the bus all the time. And so all I did was I drafted every week. I tried to do as many drafts as I could, twice a week. But drafting is really kind of what built my collection up. And then once I started learning the cards and I started like seeing different synergies between cards, I just kind of dived back into learning about as many synergistic cards as I could after that. And then I just fell in love with building decks. I have 100 commander decks. Yeah, just 100, I just love to build. I love to build decks almost more than I love to play decks. But I play the decks so that I can see if my creation worked. That's really like the big thing. It's like, did it work? Did it work? And when they do work, that's why I keep those decks around. So I have over 100 decks that have worked that I enjoy to play. Trying to memorize all these Magic cards it's insanity. Like 60,000 of them. But that's what my brain was filled with after my accident, because I don't have much from the past, and so like now my brain is just Magic all the time. It's amazing, it's annoying, and it's beautiful all at the same time, because it's the greatest game in the world. And lucky to have Magic. Lucky that I had that in my past, or else I wouldn't be here. I swear by Magic. Magic has healed me. Magic has made me me. And I love Magic to the point to where now I'm the captain. I play regularly. Commander is my big format that I love to play the most of all the formats. I love the casual hangout of Magic, just hanging out with your friends and just talking about Magic with your friends. And I've been trying to get my family into it. I got my brother back into it. He was out of it for years as well, and he is now back into it pretty hardcore. I'm starting my own channel, TheCaptainMTG. I'm going to be playing Arena on, online. Hopefully some Magic Online as well. Do some spell table things. Just kind of get my own channel going. Because again, this is just me. This is what I love to do now, more than anything in the world. But I'm also a comedian, so I do improv. I also like trying to do more acting. I also work right now with kids with autism. My son is autistic, so become like a behavioral therapist. So now I work with them, kind of learning as I go, so that I can help other kids with autism, and especially with my son. I'm learning so much every day to help him. Just like when you raise a child, it takes a village. And with Magic, it takes a community. And it's where I have found all my friends out here in the Los Angeles area. One of my first friends I made out here after moving here to California from Colorado, where I had my accident, was Evan. And I remember just trying to find any place to play Magic, and we just kind of like connected right away. And ever since then, I've been brought into different play groups here and there, meeting people. All my friends out here are all Magic nerds. Everyone is a Magic player I meet, and those are the friends I've made, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because they're amazing people and so much fun. Like I said, to hang out with and to play, Commander with, or any kind of form of Magic. I feel like we're in a great community here that like lift each other up, and you know, try to also help each other get better all the time. When you find great people, you stick with them and you try to build that community up even more. And I feel like, you know, we're starting that out here, and it's a great thing to be a part of. It's amazing to see, you know, that the community that Magic brings is like no other. It's home. Like, Magic is home. It's where I feel my most comfortable. It's where I feel like the most me. I'm Justin Kress, aka The Captain, and Magic saved my life.